I'm here to talk to you about steel clubs and rotational strength training tools. My name is Colin Lake, and I'm promoting for Great Lakes Gear Pro, as well as Durham Kettlebell Club. So if you're interested in training and learning how to use these type of tools, shoot me a message. I would love to help you out. But anyways, this type of training, I picked these tools to help improve the way I move and the way I feel. So my goal in life is to enjoy my body as long as I possibly can until the day I die, right? Until that point, I want to be able to use my body to the best of its ability. So I've spent quite a bit of money and time and effort into sorting out and figuring out what tools I would like to use and what I like using to help with my strength training, my posture, and my conditioning. Because you only have so much time and I want to use it effectively. And one of my main things is being able to use my body effectively for as long as I possibly can. So I wanted something that could carry over into real life. Like, I really enjoy playing soccer. I've got 3 kids. I want to be able to keep up with them when I'm well into my life, in my 70s, 80s, hopefully 90s. I want to be active. So this kettlebells are absolutely amazing. They do teach great movement and movement in 3D. However, maces and clubs really require a different level of coordination, timing through your shoulders and your spine in a continuous movement with a load that has momentum behind it. And the weight that you're using gets exacerbated and it feels heavier because of the lever of the tool. Depending on what you're using, clubs feel quite a bit different than steel maces. Okay, the maces have the weight at the end, clubs have the weight all the way through. Okay, but they are both amazing tools. So I've picked up a club here. Now, what makes rotational strength training tools amazing is you're gonna rotate. Okay, now you can get away with just using the shoulder. Okay, so I've just put the weight behind my back, right? And it's pointing straight to the ground. Okay, so if you struggle in this position, it's gonna be a challenging movement for you to do the 360, okay, or the 10 and 2. So this is the 10 and 2. Okay, this is the 360. Okay, now, if you can't hold this and keep your legs straight and keep your ribs down, and if you can't get your elbows, if you kind of look like this, and you've got to arc your back and bend your knees and you're crouching and it's very uncomfortable, that's a sign that you have some poor posture in the upper extremities, probably in the lower as well, and you could highly benefit from this stuff. Okay, so you gotta crawl before you run, walk before you run, and all that stuff, right? So sometimes just hanging on to the club and putting it over and getting a stretch there is an exercise in itself. Okay, but if you struggle to get into this position, it's an indication that you have some limitations in the range of motion in your upper body. Okay, you got upper cross syndrome, so your pecs everything's kind of internally rotated, adducted, and flexed. Okay, so you've got a bit of poor posture happening, okay, and you have a lack of ability to raise your arm up because your spine is not in a great position and your shoulders have not moved in the full range of motion that they're allowed to move and designed to move at one point in time, hopefully. But anyways, these clubs help restore this movement and this mobility in this position. Okay, of course you've got to start light. Okay, and there is something that's too light, and you can get away with using just your arms, and you don't have to use your torso. But again, with this work, it can be strenuous on the elbows. So if you are have poor posture and this is a challenging spot for you to be in, okay, just be aware, just go light in the beginning until that feels a little bit better on the elbows. But you do want to challenge yourself with a heavier weight, because if you go too light, you can muscle through it with just your shoulders. And you don't get the whole torso involved in the center of mass shift. You got to think, when you're doing a 360, you've got this weight that's swinging in a full circle. So you've got to account for that weight moving in space. So you have to move your body to counteract where that weight is, okay? Because you're attached to it, right? So I'll just do a few here. Okay, this is a fairly light club. This is 12 kilograms or 26 pounds. Okay, this is me using my torso, okay, and really getting a cooperative movement, collaborative effort between my shoulders and my spine to create that movement, right? And it rhythmically is going to rotate and compress your spine from side to side, okay? And when you get doing the 360, you want to pay attention to your weight shift, and that's definitely allowed. You're accounting for the weight that you're swinging. Okay, so this is a rhythmic movement that's going to integrate your shoulders into spinal rotation. Okay, you can also do this into a loaded, load your hip up in a full kinetic chain sequence that's involving the whole kinetic chain. Okay, you're coming up. Okay, and loading that hip flexion right here. Okay, that's loaded hip flexion. So when I reach to the left, so when I reach to the right with my left arm, that creates rotation in that direction. So if I have intent to grab something over here, I'm going to rotate. My center of mass is going to shift over onto this side. Okay, the opposite should happen on the other side. Okay, if I'm reaching over here, okay, and I'm really reaching for that club there, okay, I've shifted my center of mass over on this side, okay, and I've rotated my torso. Okay, so my point is, when you're reaching with your hand, okay, that is going to create rotation and compression to one side, okay, and decompression on the opposite side. Okay, so I'm compressing over here, compressing over here. Okay, so if you sit driving all day, if you are at a desk and you're constantly leaning one way on the mouse or sitting a certain way, okay, your body is going to start organizing itself that it likes that center of mass over there, okay, and it's going to kind of show up in some movements and can, okay. So when you get these imbalances, postural imbalances, because of the way that you're repeatedly putting your body in space and stress coming down on that, it's going to show up in your posture and your mobility. And the way that you can combat this and compress and rhythmically restore your rotational ability with the steel club and the mace or Indian clubs. So using these tools, it's going to restore that movement rotating from left to right. It also works on timing and coordination as well. So when you're using the tool and you're using a really heavy tool, you aren't going to progress. You're not going to get to a heavy tool unless you've earned the right to get to it. And you got to know the proper progressions. Like, you need to be able to own multiple repetitions of a 360 before just diving into a heavy club 360, or else you're going to tear something. So you want to be able to do high reps of this stuff. It's not a 1 rep max type of a situation. Okay, and these tools, when used properly, okay, you can see this line. Okay, this is a pendulum here, taking it to 9 and 3. Okay, you should be able to do this with a light broomstick or dowel. And the dowel stays nice and vertical as it's penduluming, if that's a word. Okay, it just stays. It's what I mean is it's not on an angle like this. So it's not, okay, like this on an angle. Okay, because if it's going to be like that, it's going to feel horrible with the weight at the end of it. Okay, so you want the weight of the mace to be down. That's where you want it, and you want it to be traveling in a nice straight line in the most efficient pendulum. Okay, and that goes with intent. So if you know that you want the weight of the club to be swinging out that way, I'm going to deliver it my best as 180 degrees the opposite. So I can start at 180 over here and end up over there. Okay. So this is a great drill to help teach, because you'll be able to see even on your delivery here. Okay, it's not back here like this, it's to the side. Okay, so when you're delivering it like this, okay, you've got to push your torso that way. That's that reaching. Okay, that's my left arm and my right arm reaching over to the right. That creates rotation to the right through my thoracic spine. Okay, now I'm going to drop it in over here because I want it to come out that way. And here's a pull. Okay, you can see my arms and my hands go in a full circle here as I go through the 360. Okay, other direction. Okay, let's see what it looks like with a heavier club. Okay, this is a Great Lakes Gira Pro, 22 kilograms. Okay, so I'll do a few on each side. Okay, we'll go on the other one. Okay, that felt really good. All right, this is heavy, so you got to get in the right mind frame. Okay, I'm going to get acting right here. This is a 32 kilogram club. And that's enough of that one. That there's a Great Lakes Gira Pro 32 kilogram heavy club. Heavy hex club right there. That's a big boy. Anyways, glad I got that. Haven't done that one for a while. Okay, but when you get going with the heavier weight, you have to have your shit together. Okay, or else bad things are gonna happen. So I wouldn't go heavier than this. I got 7 or 8 reps there. Okay, I wouldn't want to go any heavier than that. Okay, but that was a good one. That was a good fight. That got my heart rate going. I'm up probably about 155 beats a minute right now. That was getting going. That was game time. Anyways, if you're interested in this type of training, shoot me a message, leave me a comment, whatever. If you got any questions, I'm here to help.